Welcome.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Alex Alcivar, and I run something I call Alcivar Tech. It's not really anything other than me. And Yulia found me because this is my main project. It's called Public Data Watch, and it started as a Boston only um, app, but it's expanded to multiple cities. So the idea is that it has a lot of different tools, and I can't go through all of them. So I'm going to stick with this front page and stop at 1823, at least at my time. So the idea is it covers cities and it uses local public data. There's a lot of open data that gets aggregated on a state or a national level, but you lose a lot of like the work that people in Boston are doing to categorize things, the work that people in San Francisco might be doing to categorize things. And so the URL is publicdatawatch.com. And the idea right now, I have 7 data sets. I have Boston, and there's a lot of data sets in here. I have Everett, which is the town I live in, slightly north of Boston, Cambridge, where Harvard and MIT and Google and Microsoft are in the Boston area, Chicago, San Francisco, Seattle, and then Montgomery County, Maryland. Why these 4? Because they have crime data that has latitude and longitude information in it already. The only one here that doesn't is Everett, because I live there and I wanted this to be useful for me. And so I used Google's geolocation to add that latitude and longitude data. But as something I'll cover in a bigger talk, that doesn't always work as accurately as you'd hope. So what is the point of it? The point is to provide like a research front end. Really, like it could be for consumers. That's how I started. But my background is library science and working on library data. So for me, it was about how can things be like really easy to find? How can we we get a data set and make it easy for researchers to explore it? So there's all sorts of things built in here to make the data easy to discover. Um, for example, this interface down here provides filtering for all of the different fields that the town of Everett, city of Everett, provides. But that's going to be different for another city like Chicago. And so this is a dynamically generated interface that surfaces things like the ward, anything that has fewer than 50 discrete values, or the primary types. That's a really important thing for me, the primary types of crime, because anyone can say what kind of crime is happening in an area, but crime comes in different flavors and different intensities. Different people have different ideas about it. There's a little bit of AI in this. There's also a login. You can sign in with Google. And if you go back to the map here, let's say I wanted to know, show me all the incidents in the last week related to robbery. I can try to see if the AI will give me that information. And now the last week, there's no data there because I haven't refreshed it. But luckily, it actually updates all of these fields down here. So it's clicked robbery, it's put in the start date and the end date, and I can go back and say, you know what? Let's go back to December 1st. Maybe we'll find some data there. No? Let's go even back further. Let's go to January 2025. There we go. Now we have some data. So that tells you the part of the challenges of this type of app is keeping your data refreshed. So that's another thing I'd talk about. And the last thing in my last message that I'll show, that's my favorite thing that I've built recently, is these neighborhood scoring reports. And this uses Uber's H3 algorithm to calculate a score for like how much crime has happened in an area. Let's say you don't think all the crime should be weighted equally. So we can zero that out and look just at assault and weight that as 1 and everything else 0. We recalculate the scores and suddenly we have a different set of hexagons with different scores. If you click here, it'll show you the score and it'll show you how that score has been calculated, which is more important when you're weighting all the different scores. And the last thing that's fun is if you change the function down there to explode. I'm out of time, but I'll show you just this last thing. If you change that function here, then there are 3 levels of the report. So if you want to know what's really dangerous in this tenderloin area, you click it, and then suddenly you get the lower hexagons. And then you click these, and you get the lower ones. So you can drill down into the report and say, hey, is this park that I'm planning to go back to in San Francisco still a safe place to go? And this can sort of tell you, yes, the rate of incidence of assault here is 0 in this particular area. You might just avoid this northern part here. So I'll stop sharing, and that's just a little taste of what the app does. It has a lot more fun things, kind of too many, as Julia has said, but I really appreciated Julia finding me and connecting me to a group that's as enthusiastic about open data as I am. So
That's
thank you.
fabulous.
And
Nice
we need Alex actually to present more about this, because we are going to have Alex for our Open Data Hackathon April 4th. So one of those links I shared above, and I can repeat those links again. But we really want to see you all joining us for the Open Data Hackathon April 4th. I see a couple hands. First of all, Marisa asked, cool, Alex, is this all built on GCP, Google Cloud Platform?
It is not. Google Cloud Platform is very, very powerful and a little bit expensive. And this is built on a system I called Laravel and hosted on Hostinger. But the data analysis parts are Python-based APIs that can be run anywhere. So they could be run on Google Cloud. I've run them on AWS. Right now, I run them just on my local machine because they don't need to be available on the live application.
Cool. And I saw the hands from Abrar. Han, do you have a question? Please unmute.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks, Yola. Actually, my question is like, if you are fetching this data and you are showing this all, like which areas are in the hexagon in the cells which don't have any crime rates, and that data you are fetching from somewhere from the posters or somewhere from the news agencies or some of the data. So how you are gonna to authenticate it that whatever is coming is valid or invalid? Because what will happen in the most of the cases, some media agencies or some posters online viral from where you're fetching these all data doesn't contain the authenticity, right? So you are gonna to
all of the data comes from official open data hubs from the cities. So this leverages the fact that lots of cities publish their open data sets. So it's coming directly from government sources.
Okay.
And you're using
Good
specific
question,
data sets or database settings to scrape your data, right?
Yes, I've been focusing on Socrata data recently. I built an agent that adds new cities to the platform. It needs to be structured for performance based issues that separates out databases per city, and it definitely one of the Python based APIs that runs is for downloading that data. It's a Python API that runs Playwright, so you can bypass some cities don't want to be scraped for whatever reason, like Boston. So I did build that because it's my data. I get to scrape it.
So you might, sorry. So you mean to say, Alex, like you are going to skip those, like you are not going to undo the specific areas or geographic locations where you don't want to scrap the data. So the agent is doing this for you, or you're writing the program for it.
It's not an it's not an AI. It just I put in the URL for the data set. And the agent, what it does is it creates the new database migration. It creates the various configs that you need for a city. It creates the new model needed in the in the Laravel system, and then everything else is sort of, as long as that model implements the mappable interface, everything else just kind of works all together to integrate it into the map.
Cool. I would stop right here because I wanted just to tease everyone with the upcoming talk from Alex, the real demo I hope we will see very soon, maybe next month. We will have to schedule that. And if it's okay, if John is ready, we would give the floor to our key speaker and hands-on demo and learning
Yes.
from you. Let's try to share screen.
Yep. Thank you, Yulia. Let me share my screen.
Once again, I'm really happy to know all these amazing people. John actually was the judge for our Open Data Hackathon last year, and we got to know him a little bit, and we got him into the GDG community because we run GDG, and we learned from all these labs and amazing opportunities from each other a lot.
Yep. Sharing my screen.
John's LinkedIn is available on the event description and also in the chat.
Okay, let me know if you guys are able to see my screen.
Yay, PowerPoint.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Thank you all. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Yulia and John, for giving me this wonderful platform. Been introduced to GDG a year back, a couple of years back probably. I met Yulia at the hackathon, me and Daniel. We are local here at Capital Region in Albany, New York. And we were able to get connected and did couple of hackathons here. And then I was slowly coming into this GDG group and learning how things work here and how all the tech enthusiasts come here and share their ideas. And I was thinking one day that I would like to share what I know. And I saw this opportunity and reached out to Yulia and the team. They happily accepted me. So yeah, to introduce myself, my name is John Krupavaram Pole Bhakthavatsalam. I know it's a mouthful. Just call me John Pole. And I am a senior developer. I've been working about more than 10 plus years right now. I've worked in various domains like banking domain. I worked in a health exchange insurance domain. I'm right now working in the public domain for the state of New York, and we deal with a lot of complex problems every day. And we I was like just trying to recreate some of the scenarios, like if we can use this new agentic tools that are out there and start using them to solve our things. Right now, the developer has so much of power with this AI. He'll be able to uh, create anything, or not anything, meaning if you architect it properly, if you tell the systems and the AI agents to do what they have to be doing, you can create amazing products. So yeah, today I'm going to talk about the agentic engineering, building Angular and Java with Google Antigravity. So I'm basically a Java developer and an Angular developer, and nowadays it's not really about the technology because of the AI. It's mostly technology agnostic. You can learn any technology. You don't need to, get into the details, nitty-gritty details of the syntax and the things. But it would be a better place if you know one programming language. The concepts would be the same. So basically, I worked on these applications in Angular and Java, so that's why I've taken this. So here, this is me. And as many software engineers, I think there are many people out here today. They might be writing so much of time in configuring a lot of services, setting up their IDEs, and we understand the pain, right? Especially if you work with the YAML files or XML files or Maven pom.xml files, there are a lot of dependencies that break, and you mostly spend time in configuring these tools and these IDs and this different technologies, underlying technologies that you are trying to connect. For example, if you're using REST APIs, the build doesn't pass, and you see which API endpoint is failing or what are the syntax issues and all these things. So most of the time, the developer is like doing the plumber job, like trying to fix all these things and maintaining very less time in building complex applications or logical things. with the help of AI right now, we are able to do so many things right now. So I just wanted to go to the next slide. This is the builder's trap. We are drowning in all the configurations, like in the JSON files or the Maven or YAML files. Most of the time, we are trying in this orange area, in the plumbing area, and the value is very much little. But with the help of AI, the most of the thing right now, the 80% of the thing the AI does, and we focus on the value thing. So we spend more time in building these tools than rather than solving businesses. So I would take an example down the line and show you. So this is the shifting paradigm. It seems that we are changing. There's a lot of shift because of this AI. We are changing from our regular mental shift. A lot of people are saying that the AI will replace human developers and all these things, but I don't agree with that. It's like, the AI is like your junior developer team. Whenever I remember when I was being a junior developer team in my new team, and they were all mentoring. They had few good mentors that have helped me and shaped me and paved the path that I am what I am today. So basically, these AI tools are incredibly powerful, and if you direct them and teach them and give the enough context and give the things that are needed for the AI to work, you're gonna do many great things. So the solitary coder, initially, you used to write syntax, manage files, and linear execution. Just for an example, if we see, right, we do a lot of clicks from opening the browser. For example, if we are stuck in an error and we go and Google search it, we go to Stack Overflow, try to take one of the solution from there and try it back again, coming to IDE, try it with that approach. And then we keep on improving. Like, it's not a one-time process. Every time the same issue comes, you try to Google it, because we cannot remember all these technologies and all these terminologies that are happening around us. So most of the time is basically we are doing the research. When I first joined as a developer, people were saying that if you are a good Googler, that means you're going to be a better developer. I don't know how many of you heard that term, but if you are able to Google properly and get everything properly, if you give the correct context based on the problem, you are able to solve it, then you can do most of the developing thing. So from here, from the solitary coder, what we are going to become is like the product architect. We define the constraints, we define how the AI should execute, and we manage the systems, especially with this anti-gravity tools and all those things. So let me go to the next slide. We have the agentic workflow pipeline. We had first, if you remember, we had a small, what do you call, a chatbot, LLM, in the chat GPT era. When it was just talking, it's an LLM. It is LLMs are very good at predicting what is the next next or next word or whatever, based on the context. But right now there are agents that are working behind. I mean, they don't just work, they iterate themselves and try to fix that particular problem. If you have a problem, hey, I'm having this problem, make sure the web page works properly. It tries to fix it, and then it introspects itself if the error is fixed or not. If not, again, it goes into the introspection mode and tries to check it on it, and then so many things happen. So today what I'm going to do is that this is the agentic workflow pipeline that I have come up with. First of all, we come up with an idea over here. So there are different tools that Google has given us, and I want to talk about the Google AI Studio and the Google Antigravity, which is the main thing that we are going to build on. And then I want to use the Gemini CLI as well. So I don't want to go into all these slides. I just want to go into hands-on. Is that okay? I can go into hands-on. First of all, whenever we wanted to do any prototyping or proof of concepts for any new project that we have an idea, we just go to the Google AI Studio. I hope most of you guys have tried it. Google AI Studio is where you can quickly prototype the things, and then we have, in order to give the the Google this AI things to be giving us accurate results, we have to give the prompts in a very good way. That's why the prompt engineering term came up, and there are so many other methods. And I just want to show you quickly over here. For example, I guess most of them are over here are developers, or do you want me to go into very detailed way of explaining? If so, please let me know in the chat, or you can raise up your hand and interrupt me so I can explain in detail just in case. So this is my AI studio. This is my blank workspace where you come up with an idea and then start vibe coding over here. Basically, you are not creating a full-blown production app or something like that, but this is your starting point to see, hey, how I'm going to I have this idea, how am I going to do it? So let's go over here. Anybody can access the AI studio. Go to the aistudio.google.com, and we have this search over here built. So my what I'm trying to build today is I want to build a public system, public connect system, which I have already built it, but I just wanted to show it from here how one would start from an idea and then basically go from here. I want to build a public website, welfare website, and it should have some information about the applicant. So like personal details or and demographic information, info, and income information. Basically, I work in the government sector, so I'm thinking in these terms because a lot of the public welfare systems need all this information to start up. An applicant comes online, tries to apply for some of the health benefits or any benefits from the government or welfare management systems. So I just wanted to come up with this idea, and then I just want to have a customer portal for them to come into this one and do that. So basically, I have a lot of spelling mistakes and all these things. I'm a very, I don't type that pretty good. So what I did is that I have created a plugin by myself. This one also I vibe coded it. So this plugin I have put the, I have it in my GitHub repository. I can share it to you. So this is um, I'll just show you my extension. Okay, this is the prompt shift AI enhancer. What it does is that whatever the prompts that you are doing it over here, it enhances the prompts. I have given particular different prompt engineering methods like a co-star, which tells you like add context, objective, style, tone, and audience and format. The main thing that people say is that the better your prompt is, the better your output result would be. So you have different ways. For example, if you're writing an email, it's a Chrome extension. You can just download it, unpack it, just add your API Studio key, and this would work on any input text box, and then you can enhance the text. So probably, for example, if this is what I'm doing a co-star, which gives all the things, and then let me say enhance. And the prompt shift analyzer, what it does is that it gives me a good prompt. So I don't have to go to another window. For example, I'm just going to go to Gemini and then try to start a new chat. Hey, can you please fix this prompt or something like that? With doing this, what will happen is that you will lose the flow of what you are trying to build. So I just try to build it over here, and it comes. If you feel that everything is okay, then you go ahead and replace this. So this one comes in a very good way. I need help in creating public website. Please generate content for the based on the co-star framework and all these things. So let me hit generate. But before that, I just wanted to show you one thing. In the AI Studio, we have something called as what do you call the systems prompt over here. I don't know, where did it go? We had a systems prompt wherein wherein we can give all the things that this prompt should do. And for example, for an Angular project, if you go to their Angular website and see their system prompts in the docs, you'll be able to find what are the good docs that are needed. For example, in the LLM prompts over here, it says custom prompts and system instructions. What it does is that it says you are an expert in TypeScript, Angular, scalable web app developer, and these are all the these are all the things that you're telling the AI. If you're using if you're trying to create an Angular application or something like that, tell the AI model, especially in Gemini Studio, there would be an option for you to start, in the settings somewhere. I had it, but I don't know exactly where it went. Basically, you would have a system prompt, and from there you would get it. now, for my example, I already have a system prompt that I have it. So let me take that system prompt and probably try to add it. So here is my OneNote. So,
and a system prompt would be across all of your chats or just for the
just for this
current?
chat. I mean, you can define it for all of the chats as well, but if you want only for this one, you can, oh yeah, over here, sorry. You see the model preview over here, there's a settings icon. I was looking at the settings icon over here. You see the settings icon over here, and you have the system instructions. And in the system instructions, I just copied and pasted all these information. Okay, the TypeScript best practices for the Angular. For most of the websites are now giving you what are the best system prompts and when and where to use it. So you would go over here, you would give all this information. Hey, you're trying to build an Angular application, use the latest version, and these are my instructions. And I would go over here, I'll just paste my, okay, this is, let me paste. Let me this, for example, I'm just showing you, this is my system prompt. Okay, this is my prompt. Hey, I'm designing a dashboard for public facing client application. The user should have a user sign up and login feature. Upon login, he should have something. You can iterate up your idea whatever you want. It's not just this. You can come up with any idea. Like the other day I was making a recipe thing, and how to store all the recipes in a UI app or something like that. You can come up with some crazy ideas, and a lot of prototyping. You can do it on the fly. So I will do it over here, paste in master style. So if you see over here what I've given based on the JSON object, this is basically the co-star method, which gives you a good JSON like what it needs. For this one, I can share you all these prompts later in my GitHub repo once I push this project. So if I ask it to build, it starts working on it. You're designing a public face client application, and the dashboard should have all these things. So let's give the time for it to build up this application. It's going to build up a beautiful Angular application. We can come back, play around, test it, and if you want to do any changes on that canvas over here in this whiteboard, you can use some annotation features over here. You can say, hey, I want to change this color, can you please do that? And it does everything. So basically what I would do is that this is where I do my prototypes for the UIs. Most of them are like only for UIs, but for a full stack web blown application, I wouldn't use this one. But to get your front end code to be up and running, and you wanted to show your customers or your clients saying that, hey, I have an idea, I'm trying to build up this one, you can play around with this and try to test your idea. Once you have this, you go to anti-gravity and try to implement much more deeper level of things. Before this one, I actually wanted to show you where I am right now in this today's demo, so it will be helpful. So we are creating an idea from here, and then this is my own prompt shift translator plugin. I would share you. I have it on my GitHub, so we can you can take it from here, which is the prompt enhance. This is the prompt shift. It's a very simple one. You just have to create your own Gemini API key. The API key can be found here at the Gemini Studio. Just in case for people who don't know, the API key is over here. You could go here, copy it, and then you just paste it into the one of the instructions in the README file. It's pretty much laid out over here if you wanted to enhance your prompts. Most people are using your voice prompts instead of typing. I have two kids here at my home, and it's kind of very busy, and I cannot always talk and do things, and this tool has really helped me a lot. Okay, once we are done with the ideation phase, it's still running. Once this comes up, today I actually wanted to show you what website we are going to build in. So this is one of the website that I've built in. I've took about 4 to 6 hours to build this one. And before that, I wanted to show you the whole architecture, so it will be easy to understand what complex system we are building in. Is everybody with me, or is anybody getting bored, or please let me know.
No, this is all good, John. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. So this is everything today I've created, even from the slides to my all the things. I'm using AI. I'm not doing manual work at all. And every day I'm trying to learn something new. There is a lot more there. One of the best things that if you wanted to be ahead of the curve, you have to be very curious, try and play around the things. You can break things and you can do so much of stuff. So this is what that we are going to build, a public connect website. It's a event-driven enterprise platform for public sector benefits built with Spring Boot. If you are a Java developer, you might be very familiar with the Spring Boot framework. And we are using Angular as a UI, and we are using Kafka for event streaming and sending all the messages into the pipeline. And we are using rules. A lot of the complex business rules in the real world system has a rule engine behind it. For example, in government sectors, for us, we have a lot of policies that come from the government. We have a lot of for example, in credit card companies, they have a lot of rules. Hey, his demographic at this area, and they have the income level at this one, and the credit score is this one, and a lot of things. Even in banking system, we have a lot of rules to determine a process. So in order we don't hard code the rules, we use something like a rule engine, or there are a lot of engines out there. We have used rules, and I'm using a dual database strategy. When one is a Postgres one, which is more open source, most of the Java developers love it, and the other one is MongoDB to put in the logs, especially if the data is unstructured. And I wanted to use, in this case, I wanted to use as a audit logging for things. So the system context, we have an applicant over here, and we have a case worker. Let's take a case that you are an applicant and you wanted to go and apply in this public connect, saying that, hey, I want to apply for one of the benefit states in the state of New York, or in any state, or let's come up with something. And then once they come to the client portal, they have they have a place where they've put on all their details, and then there is some logic, the core backend API that works in, and then there is this message broker database, and all these things work together, and they generate a very seamless integration. You have different component layers over here. The client portal, worker portal, there's a chat widget, there's a login component, there is auth services, chat services. I did not use the API gateway, but I was thinking of doing it because Nginx and Ingress are a little complex for me right now. But you can add in gateway, because a traditional enterprise application would have gateway. And then you have a backend core system wherein we have all the REST controllers using our Spring Boot, and then we have our service layers. Then we have rules, rule engine, the repositories, the Kafka producer and consumer, where all the messages are there. And then we have a PDF service that generates notices. And then we have the data messaging layers like the Postgres, MongoDB, and all those things. So I don't want to go through all these things. I think it will might bore you, but let me show you a demo of how this works. So everything is in my local right now. I have implemented the OAuth with my Google. So first of all, let me not go with the Google, because I had some information. So I'll take Yulia's name today, Yulia GDG, and then I'll just log in with a defaulted password 1234. Okay, I sign into the dashboard, and it asks me to create a applicant profile. And here is Julia, and then you can add your details over here, 145 9. And then you have information, date of birth. Okay, and then you have your street address.
How did you know Yulia's exact birthday?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then her monthly household income is, say, suppose $10,000. We give that to her, and she's enrolled as student because she's just 22 years old, 25 years old, and then we'll create a profile over here. So the thing that it did is that it created an applicant profile. Then you have this portal, the beautiful portal over here. I mean, it doesn't look that beautiful. It's a customer client facing portal, which in some time I will show you how to work on it and make it much more beautifuler. So it's pretty much basic. We have some of the benefits that here. There's a food assistance, healthcare assistance, student travel, driver's license. So you wanted to apply for a food assistance. Julia sees that my salary is not enough, even though I'm getting $10,000. I want to apply for some of the benefits from the state. And she tries to answer, and she's just one household member, say probably like two household members, and then she had 10,000 monthly income. It's if you say apply now, it says failed. Because in the back end, I have written right, if you have certain threshold of income, you will not be able to get food assistance. A lot of the agencies, they have their limits, right? Based on your applicant profile, it has the limits. And for example, even for healthcare, she says, I want a healthcare assistance from you, like Medicaid or Medicare size or something like that. She says, I am a female and I am retired and I am having disability or something like that, or veteran. And then I applied. It says you're approved, because for veterans, what we are doing is that on the back end we are having some rules that kick in this logic. So and then the student travel, since he said she's a student, and I'm trying to say Hudson College, and 1 2 3 4 5, and the major is CS, and the enrollment date is 01/01/2005. And if I say to apply now, it says worker review, because I have written in the rules backend saying that, hey, if the student is less than 5 years of today's date, they should not be getting student travel benefits. And then there is a driver's license that I wanted to. I'm just quickly going over the flow because I don't want to deep dive in. Here, Julia wants to apply for a driver's license, and she says at four-way stop, who has the right way? I'm doing an exam over here, and I'm saying vehicle that arrived first. That's the right answer. We all know it. And what do you do when a school bus is stopping and then you say honk and pass? That is a very bad answer. And then on a wet road, what do you do? Increase following distance is a good answer. And then I'm giving them a test over here, a driving test. I cannot simulate the real world driving test, but I created a small game, vibe coding here. If I say over here, I'll say start game over here. And I try to pass this test. I crashed it over here, and it says I have only 2 attempts left, and the attempts that I have to complete is that I have only 3 attempts over here, and the minimum time that I have to do is for 15 seconds. I'll retake the exam, and again I'll drive the thing over here, and if I pass and see, let me go and see if I'm able to pass this exam, would it give me or not? So yeah, 15 seconds have done. You have passed your driving test, and now I'm saying, hey, apply now. Apply now, worker in review. Why? Because we have some issue because in the answers we haven't done correctly. So for all these things, I have a notice button over here. You see over here we have a PDF generation. If I click on the view notice for the notice food, I get this generation. Okay, it says Julia Giria, you are rejected under age, something like that, because it exceeds the current household threshold or something like that. Okay, where did it go? Oopsie, sorry. Okay. Yeah, and I have all the notices over here. Even for healthcare, I have notices. For support travel, I have notices. And then for driver license, I have notices. This is the customer portal from the normal perspective of customer. And then we have something called as worker portal. Normally, there would be a back office. A lot of companies offer that. And let me go to the back office. I think it's worker login instead of client login. Okay, and I have this supervisor. I have the details over here. Supervisor 1. Let me take it, because I cannot give a OAuth or Google sign in here because it's a supervisor and only people who are of that organization only can do it. So just kept it simple. So if you see here on the dashboard, I hope this will be interesting for you guys. On the dashboard, there are pretty complex things over here. You have a big dashboard of total 32 applications have come. There are 11 in pending queue, and then 4 are rejected. And you have some good statistics over here. Note all these are used by Angular. All the front end is used Angular, back end is Java, as I showed you earlier. And we have Julia over here. So it is over here. And if we go back, let me minimize the screens here, make it into 2 windows. I can show you some. Oh, yes. Oh, my laptop is rating really slow. Okay. So how are you guys all understanding the concepts over here, or am I just rumbling around? If I can get an yes or no, that would be really helpful.
Good.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
sounds
All
clear.
good, all good.
Okay, yeah. So on the back office, this is the client portal on the left side. On the right side is the the back office, the worker portal. He sees all the applications that are coming in. Before coming to this one, I was doing I was doing some changes, and that's why you see a lot of applicants over here. I was just playing around and seeing it. So this has a lot of complex things over here. I just want to show you. So basically, her information is over here. You can view her application, what she has done. This is the applicant information, the profile, and the date of birth. And you can see that she has driving past, and her quiz score is 2 out of 3 because we wantedly put a wrong answer on one of the school bus question. And if you see the rules flow, this is the most tricky flow. If somebody calls in and says, "Hey, is this DMV? I am Yulia. I have done my exam, and I haven't heard anything back, but I have received a notice saying that it's in a pending review status. Can you please look it and please approve it?" And then you go to the rules flow, and then you see it over here. We have all the rules over here, especially for the driving license. It says flag identity match mismatch. User submitted age do not match the official age. Because a lot of times, if you see in a real world scenario, a lot of times the data that we put in will be validated against some of the mainframe data, which a lot of government agencies have it. For example, if we have our W-2s and all the information, you cannot go to any state and just apply a driver's license based on your SSN and give some false information. A minor cannot come and give their information as a major, and then you can say it gets approved. So it is saying that, hey, it's not matching your official age because we in the backend we are hitting our mainframe because I simulated something in the mainframe. And quiz code, this is the reason why there was a mismatch. And then what I would do is that we can approve it or reject it. So we don't have a phone call option right now. So what I have done is that I have implemented a chat-based system over here. So a chat-based system is where Yulia wants to chat with us right now. Let's go here and say chat. Hi, I need help in my driver's license approval, and I'll just enhance it. You don't need to do this one. This is a chat. Sorry. Uh, okay, just okay. So I send it over here. See, it created everything. And then what I'll do is that if you see over here, there's a live support queue tab over here, and you see Yulia GDG has joined it. And I'll go and join the chat. This is all the WebSocket connection. It's the way you connect a secure opening live updates, all these things that earlier I was showing, they were all REST APIs, and this is a WebSocket connection. And all the chats that we are putting in are going into Kafka and all those things. So I will in a while I'll show you all those things as well. And once you come over here and I say, hi, how can I help you today? Okay, and it comes over here. Please check my license or something like that. So I just wanted to give you the check my license last message. I'll just do it, and you can also send files. You can record a video and do anything. And then what I'll say that, okay, Yulia has talked to me and she explained that her date of birth is mismatching, and she by mistake she has done it. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and approve her license. And once I approve her license, it goes back. We can go back here and see in the chat it says you're approved. This is all again Angular based signals wherein it is trying to get it dynamically. So it's a pretty complex application. If you see in the architecture over here, we have the life cycle, the use case flows, and all those things. So you can go through all this information if you like to, and just go around and see it. But meanwhile, this complex application can be built in anti-gravity. That's what I wanted to share.
A question.
Yeah.
Do I understand correct? So you demo us the AI Studio prototyping, and then you did show the full system at work. So now you are going to cover the steps in between?
Yeah, I'm going to just cover the steps in between. Just like we had AI Studio, we're working on one of the things, right? Let's see where did it, what happened till, oh, nothing happens here.
I'm interested to know how anti-gravity fits into all this.
Yes, I'm going to go there. So first of all, I don't know why my system has become so slow. Let me close all the tabs here. It says there is an error. Sometimes the AI Studio has errors, so let's go there. Let's retry it. I will close these applications. I mean, we don't need that. No, this one, sorry guys, please bear with me. I'm just trying to close all the tabs because a lot
It's
of
fine. It's fine. Take your time. It was high speed for all of us. It's okay to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, okay. I will close up all the applications and all the things that I don't need.
Yeah, Judith is asking, anti-gravity is a great integrator. I would say orchestrator.
Yeah, anti-gravity is the implementation thing that we got. So where is the AI Studio? Let me see what it did.
You touched on it before, John. It's all about configuration and compatibility and getting through that process and having it's almost like anti-gravity is like a concierge.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about input and output for anti-gravity.
Okay. Yeah, input and output. Okay, I'll go in there. So this anti-gravity, if you give sometimes a very complex thing, it takes a lot of time sometimes. You have to bear with that. But basically, I think I've done a couple of things earlier. So let me see if one error is running. Okay. Okay, basically you get the idea of the AI Studio, right? Maybe I'll just give a simple prompt and then it will try to do something. Yeah. Okay. Create conversational voice app, something like that. Okay. I'm feeling lucky. And then let's build it. This is going to build something. Meanwhile, I'll show you the anti-gravity. So we have the anti-gravity. You can go to the anti-gravity website. The name suggests that gravity is like pulling you down, right? A lot of people as developers, we try to get down because of all the configurations and everything, and this anti-gravity tool is nothing but it helps you quickly to lift off from wherever you are. What I would do is that normally whenever you come to this page over here, once you download it, you would come to this particular agent manager section. Okay, this is the place where you have all the workspaces. These are the things that I've built. So many things I've built recently. And this is your playground, which is similar thing to what we had in AI Studio. You can select all the models over here. If you see, I have used all the models on Claude, and you have a Gemini 3 Pro models and everything over here. And then the one best thing about Antigravity is that it has a built-in browser wherein you don't have to test any features. I mean, you don't have to go manually type in the prompt, type in the URL and see if it is working or not. The anti-gravity by itself will be doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So this is the demo that I've prepared, right? Whatever I've showed you, there is a backend for it, and this is all in Java, and there is a front end for it. This is all in Angular. And in Java, if you see, we have configs, controllers, and all these things. So basically, you can tell anything in this agent manager and say, hey, can you please look into this and try to fix it? Okay. For example, if I wanted to go to the local host and see if, okay, let me go and log in with my email ID and see if everything is working. Okay. Basically, you want to say, you want to take a screenshot of this and say, let me take a screenshot of this and say, make this, go to your agent manager. This is where you try to give off the agent saying that, hey, in this anti-gravity demo, I have this front-end code. So based on this screenshot, can you make it much more accessible and much more brighter, or some examples or references that you can give it to it, and then it will do it. For example, I'm going to add media and say that the recent ones, the screenshot over here, is this the one? Yeah. Okay, I'll take this one. And I'll say, hey, in this project, I need this to be much more accessible and HIPAA compliant and accessibility compliant, and please change it to some brighter colors to enhance the customer experience. So I will let it go into the planning mode, and you do know that just today before the session, the Gemini 3.1 Pro has launched in, and it has some better capabilities and a lot of things. So I'm gonna give it to the agent manager, so it does by itself. So you don't need to go and check in the code or something like that. The code is in the behind. If you see, this is the code, but I don't want to see. I didn't open that code. There is only agent manager. This is one place stop, and then you can work on another folder. For example, I'm building a portfolio builder for myself. I'm being a software engineer. I never had a portfolio, and I wanted to see if I can build a portfolio site for myself. And I started building this one, and then I can go over here and tell, hey, I'll say, how is my new website portfolio coming up? And do you think you can add some geeky styles to it? So it is working parallelly over here, and here also it's working parallelly over here. And I will say allow access to the public's connected architecture, and I will say yes, allow this to this conversation. If you feel 80% of the work it does, but sometimes it hallucinates and does some things, it's trying to repeat on itself, then what you can do is that you can open it in the editor, and you have the option over here, and then you can open in the editor over here and then start doing all the things that you need. For example, in this particular page, can you change the color or something like that? So if you go to the this one, all the errors were all there. So we'll give it some time, and meanwhile it will start doing it.
Ben is asking, is anti-gravity its own IDE, or it just plug into VS Code?
No, Antigravity, its own IDE, it's built on VS Code. So it's an IDE with some powerful orchestration like this agent manager. What it does is that it delegates the task and you can run the agents in parallel without having one to finish or anything like that. It's built on top of VS Code. So it has built-in intelligence and everything. For example, in VS Code, we have IntelliSense, right? Like if you type in a function, it tries to finish the function. And this is much more capability to it. You are adding all these models to it. You can choose a model and you can do a planning phase and then do it. So if you go and see here, I have said, hey, in this project, I need this one. And what it analyzed is that it gave me an implementation plan. That's the beauty of it. So it went in, it thought it had some implementation plan. It's saying the plan outlines the changes to ensure the accessibility, compliant, and visually enhanced. User review required, no breaking changes is there, or something like that. Verification plan is also there. Manual verification is also there. And then if you think that everything is right, then you can say, please proceed. You have an option over here. But instead of that, what you can say is that you can comment, hey, make sure all the fields are required and make the form multi-step instead of all in one place information. And then you can add a comment, and then what it will do is that it goes reviews it, and then it proceeds with that. So now with the implementation plan, once you say that you have given some comments and say that implementation plan, it starts executing all the things that you have said. We have said to improve the HTML and enhancements. We have told the required fields to be added and all those things. So this model started thinking and started implementing all these changes. And the coolest part is that we have something called as a browser over here. In the browser, this is the browser. When you click on it, what happens is that it'll open by itself. Where is it? It opens the browser actually when you click on it, and the agent takes control of the browser. Okay, let's wait and see how it works. So it's right now thinking, it's working. So let's give it some time.
How is anti-gravity different from Kiro?
Which one? How is anti-gravity different from?
From Kiro. They both seem like Agentic IDE, but any difference asking AD de Jong?
I'm not sure of Kiro. I never heard about
Me
it.
too.
Yeah, but I know Cursor, Windsurf, all these are the agentic IDEs, and they have a lot more capabilities, just like how anti-gravity is. But if you have Gemini anti-gravity, you have a lot many things, because one of the biggest advantage of having a Gemini models in or Gemini anti-gravity is that you have a bigger context window. The context window of Gemini 3 Pro is like around 1 million tokens. That is like you can put in like any big code base into it and feed it in its memory. A lot of times.
But in terms of being an IDE, all of them, like I've used Cursor, I've used whatever is out there, and they all seem to be based in VS Code in terms of a UI when you're using the IDE. And I think like that's an important kind of concept, because how VS Code works, is very configuratory. You have to be able to put your extensions together and know, it used to be brackets, you'd have to program it practically. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so speak to that for a second, because it seems to be basically like, if you know VS Code, you can look at it and say, yeah, I could do that and be comfortable.
Can you repeat your question? Sorry, Judith. What was the main question?
Wow, that was a long question to repeat. Okay, basically the synopsis is all of them, all of these different iterations of VS Code, Cursor, and whatever else you're using, besides anti-gravity, are some kind of, the core is VS Code. So speak to that for a second, like how that configuration and how that UI model is, applicable across the board, especially in anti-gravity, and how it's different.
Yeah. So yes, as you said, the cursor and everything are built on top of Visual Studio, because that is the most easiest way that you can start coding off. And many people are familiar with the VS Code and everything. But coming to anti-gravity, you have this feature of Agent Manager, wherein you are working on multiple projects at a time. Whereas in cursor or anything like that, you have to work on one specific project, and you cannot do any browser testing or something like that. But this one has a browser testing, which I'll show you in a while. But if you see all the changes that it did in the previous prompt, it had all these changes. If you're seeing all these things, nothing I'm doing, everything is being done by it.
Yeah.
And you can review all the files over here. You can click on it and it see they have made some changes, because I told it I don't want all the information at one place, but make it into multiple steps. And then once I say accept all, and let's see how I would like to say, can you please test it? And can you please walk through and test it in the browser agent? And let's see how it will go with it.
Right. But this is definitely an addition on top of VS Code. I mean, it's not right. Okay.
Yeah, even in VS Code also, you got a lot of extensions. So you can Cloud Code or anything like that. Right now, if you see over here, it's starting. See, this is the thing. If you see the blue border, the agent is controlling. If I try to do anything like this, it'll not work anything over here, because it made our big profile of the whole thing into like 3 steps. And now what it is going to do, it's going to iterate it. The blue border shows that the agent is controlling it, not us. And it says, next step, let's open a new tab, log out the functionality, log out the supervisor, something like that. So whatever it is doing, let it do it. And once the blue border is completed, that means that it is no longer accessing it, and it's kind of testing all the scenarios. See, opens the URL, and you can also follow along, like what is happening.
Very complex indeed. I'm wondering, shall Marisa just comment her comments loud? Shall we ask Marisa?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess since we're on the topic of VS Code, for me, I feel like the experience is very similar, but I like that I don't need to really add any plugins to do what I need to do for the most part. I mean, of course, if there's specific things like, I don't know, you want to use Terraform or whatnot, or Docker, it might be helpful, but I like that it kind of does everything that VS Code can do and more without feeling really bulky.
Yes, especially if you're coming from my Java background, right? You always use the Eclipse kind of thing, the IntelliJ IDE. Those are all some of the standards. I used to use a lot of Eclipse, and it didn't have a lot of features. But if you come to VS Code, you have plugins for what you call Java and all these things, and you are able to navigate just like, for example, you have to go to this map and want to change over here or something like that. Everything is similar to Visual Studio Code. On top of it, you get the extra power with all these things. And on top of it, which is like similar to Cursor or Windsurf, you got the Agent Manager. And you can open in an editor once of all. If the AI has done 80% of the work and the 20% of the work you have to do it, you can click in Open Editor and start coming here and say, let's just come to this app.html or let's take me a simple example. Okay. Okay, I want to change the title from DUI, and you can directly click on it, chat, and it takes the information over here. Hey, change the title to Citizens Connect. Then connect, and please apply these changes anywhere in the files where it's called public connect. And then I apply it, And it goes ahead and tries to make those changes. I think already the top one is working and it's in the queue. So it will finish it once the top one is done, and then we can go. For example, let me skip it. If you want to go preview it, it's gonna go ahead, and you can also preview the recordings that it happened. If you want to see the playback that we had, the testing, if you see it over here, how the agent opened it and how everything, it validated some of the things. Okay, and then you have all the information where the file changes are there. Now it will not be called as DMV UI, rather than it will say Citizen Connect on top of it. You remember the Citizen Connect was here, it was on the title, it was DMV UI, and now we were able to change it. So just by giving all simple commands, and you can review the changes or you can reject the changes, and you can see, hey, the title UI has been changed from there to this one. And then now what it is doing is that wherever it is public connect, all the public connect was there over here. If you remember, the public connect was over here, and it is going and replacing all the files. Just imagine, as a developer, if you wanted to change all this, I would take at least half a day to go through all the files and then make the changes. But now you have this anti-gravity features that are doing it. And then you have annotations. You can go to a particular file. You don't need to check the entire code base. For example, you have this backend Java code, okay, and you wanted to write another controller, okay. I can just drag it over here and just say controller over here, or you can just put in a new controller package or something like that at the rate or user controller or something like that, and start. Can you make this code more readable? Because a lot of the legacy codes that I work in, they are very hard to read. There are no comments, okay? And if you see, for example, in user controller, there are no comments at all. And can you make this readable and add more comments? And when I hit it, it's already in the queue. Let me accept all these files because it right now renamed my public connect to Citizen Connect. And this is how, instead of one creation of profile, it has now 3 steps. So this is pretty cool. So let me go again and I'll create. It takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 0, and then 0, 1, 1990, and then I'll click next step, and then I'll say 20 Albany Street, something like that. We can integrate many things into this one. 1, 2, 3, 0, 9, and then next step, current household income. See, it's again coming over here, and now you see it's no longer called as public connect, but it is called as citizen portal. And there are many things going behind, and these are some of the features. And then you have something like very fast mode. You don't need things like just renaming the files or all these things. You don't need to have a planning mode, because the planning mode, what it does is that it burns more of your tokens. Instead of that, you can use fast mode, which will what it does is that it does things faster. You see, if you see, agents will execute tasks directly, uses simple tasks that can be completed faster. So planning mode is required when you are first initially trying to set up your application and give them the architecture diagram or the architecture or something like that. You require planning on all those things so that it helps the agent to think, and if you give all the context and everything, that would be helpful. So there is lot many. If you are seeing it over here, and if you see all the usage, I have overpassed my Claude limits, because I was working last night trying to bring up this demo, and I was able to finish up all the tokens. In that case, what you have is that you have another plugins. Just like in VS Code we have plugins, you can go to Claude Code for VS Code, and then if you install it, I get this new window over here. Again, this is similar to Gemini CLI over the Gemini model over here, like a chat window. I don't need to use this window anymore, and I can start, hey Claude, can you help me understand this project more? Hey Claude, can you create me a terrific README? Yeah, terrific, and terrific README file, a file for any developer who comes to this project, who sees this project to understand in the simplest way. And then this Claude starts doing it. So you have everything. You don't need to jump into different browser URLs. You don't need to go here and go to Claude or Gemini or something like that, and then get some things from there. But you have everything integrated into this IDE terminal, and you will be able to build a lot many things. And right now, it is creating a good README file for this particular project. Once it does that, we'll be able to do it. Meanwhile, I will take any questions if you have. And also, I wanted to show about Gemini CLI as well. This is all Gemini Antigravity. This is like people who are like familiar, I mean, wants to work with IDEs and everything, but most of the developers, they want to work directly in the terminal, especially the DevOps guy. They wanted to use pretty fast, because the IDE is like you're spinning up a separate application onto the system and then you're interacting with it. Rather than that, if you want to directly interact with the system, Gemini has given us a good product called as Gemini CLI. Feel free to use it. That has a lot of capabilities. I'll show you. It's very simple. Gemini CLI, where is this? Okay. This is a command line terminal interface. You can do whatever you want. Like me, I was very, I don't remember commands that easily, like, present working directly, pwd, ls, or you're changing directory. All these things are like, you kind of, you are forgetful when you don't use for many days. If I go for a vacation for 2 weeks and I come back to my computer, a lot of times I forget all the commands, right? So this is like, a terminal. Let me open my terminal over here. Let me, okay, let me open my terminal. You guys will enjoy this one if you are like, if you want to geek out and, are you able to see my screen? I'm trying to zoom
Yes.
a bit. Okay. So it's very simple to install the Gemini CLI. I'm kind of in a geek mode right now. I just want to geek out of all the stuff. It's very simple to install this. Go to your terminal, install this npm installation command. Go here and try to install. Just paste it over here. But before that, you need node to be installed, and that will also help everything. And I already have CLI and everything like that, so it will take a couple of minutes. Am I going overtime, Julia, or do you want me to stop, or this is too much to process?
It's okay. I would probably seek feedback from the crowd. Ben actually demoed yesterday or last week, something similar in geeky mode as well. I have the fiscal question, if it's okay.
Yeah.
How much does it cost for you as a developer?
As a developer, how much does it cost to run all these tools?
Yep.
Gemini CLI is free. If you are on a paid tier, I think it's 19.99 per month. The Gemini Pro, you get a huge amount of things, like 4,000 requests per day. That is like nobody of us uses that many of that. So, and then they have a huge token window of 1 million tokens per day, and it refreshes every 5 hours. So
John, I don't mean to interrupt, but also if you go to your GDG developer profile where it says benefits, there's a lot of free money to apply, inside the console while you're using it. I mean, I've had it for a long time, and they're really amazing about it. And it saves you a lot of money because, I mean, the TPUs add up. If you're going to do these projects, anything that goes live, it's got to have a starting point. You have to be able to fund it in some way, and it's very generous of them. I encourage everyone to look under benefits.
Yeah.
A lot of free stuff in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of free stuff in here, and especially if you are a student, Gemini I mean, like a year back or 5 months back, they have given 1 year of subscription for free for those who are students or edu emails, and you can use it very nicely. And for most of the projects, you don't need a paid version. for CLI, you just go around and see. I wanted to show you a few things, just a minute. Right now, if you see, I have used 60% of my 40% of it, remaining is for 60%, and it resets in 2 hours, 4 minutes. And basically, the Claude, I have used everything, so I cannot use it until like 7 more hours. And then Gemini 3.flash, this is like a very simple model, you'll not even run out of it. And if you want the higher thinking models, the 3 Pro and 3.1, those are like multimodal models. You can create images and all those things. So those are over here. And I wanted to show especially the Gemini CLI. You just once you install it, you just Gemini over here, and then you are into this CLI mode. And this is really terrific. It can handle a lot of things for you. It can search over the internet. It's basically your Google in the terminal. Instead of having the browser to search or anything like that, it's your Google in the terminal. So this has something called as Gemini.md, which is like your system prompts, which I showed you earlier in the AI studio. It is like the brain of this CLI. If you want anything of it to remember, hey, talk to me in this tone, talk to me like a professor, or teach me like a coach, or something like that. You can pretty much do everything on that. And then if you go to a lot of these things, you can authorize yourself using auth or anything like that. And you can compress if your memory is going too much. You can compress that memory into a smaller size, and it will emit out all the unwanted information. There is so much of things over here, and you can connect to the MCP server. Okay, I'm going too much on that, but I just wanted to show you a few things. Hey, can you search something in budget for my daughter's birthday coming up soon? She is 5 year old, and I need something within $100. Just say that, okay? Okay, and so I just gave her, and it is trying to understand this thing, and it goes on the internet and tries to get something over here. Meanwhile, what you can do is that you can give it a very big long thing, like, hey, find me some direct flights from here to to Chicago this summer or something like that. And then you can go get a cup of coffee, start drinking, take a break for 10 minutes, and this is your personal assistant that is doing a lot of your heavy lifting. You don't need to sit in front of the computer. The main advantage for developers over here is that if you get a new project, and if you go to the project folder and if you type /init, it initializes the context of that project. It gives you full breakdown of all the files and everything. So it's a huge plus point. I recommend anyone out there and trying to explore these things, you can use the CLI. But I want to complete my slides before. So we have an ideation, and I had this prompt shift plugin. If anybody wants to use it, I'll share it in my I'll share it in my profile, and I'll give it to you guys. You can take it for free. You have the anti-gravity, the builder one, and then you have the verification. Just the CLI one is there, right? A lot of times I write a lot of test cases. If you remember the test-driven development, a lot of people have to write unit test cases, right? It takes a lot of time to test the code, and these days I'm not even writing test cases. I'm just handing it off to this one and say, hey, Gemini, can you please smoke test this code and make sure if there are any bugs, can you please let me know and give me a report, so I'll go and try to fix it. And I'll take that report, and again I'll feed it back to the Gemini anti-gravity, and it tries to fix it by itself. So everything is there, you're automating. If you see here, it says searching the web, and here are some results. Imagine it to pretend, play, plush toys, doll houses, play kitchen, creative, and all these things. Then you can say, cool, I like it. Can you please add it to my drive? Cool. I like it. Can you please add it to my drive? I have connected it to my drive, Google Drive. You just have to use MCP. If you see over here, you have MCP configurations. MCP is nothing but the agents can connect to different services like Google Mail, Google Drive, all these things. They can be connected. So you have to just put this one. It's pretty simple and easy over there. If you just go to the docs and listen to it. This is what I'm trying to say here. The ideation, the refinement, the implementation, and then the verification I'm doing by the Gemini CLI. I'll just quickly go over the things. The rapid prototyping. I wanted to show the what do you call the AI Studio, but sometimes it doesn't work. It takes some time. Uh, I am not sure
It's
why.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah, but basically it gives you something after some time, but I think a lot of people are using right now, and that's why you're not able to see it. So rapid prototyping, you can do it by the Google AI Studio. This is how I am using right now these days. I do go and do my proof of concept in the Google AI Studio, and then the bridge is the prompt shift, which I just showed you my tool. It's a very simple tool that also I wipe coded it. So if anybody wants to go and change, saying that if I wanted to, if for example over here, you have to at least write 3 characters in order for it to be awake. I don't know why it is not getting awake over here, but you can go ahead and change it. And then the heavy lifting is the Google Antigravity. Just now, as I've showed you in the anti-gravity features, I think it is working. This is like an inbox. Your agents are all working, and this is like your inbox, and you can go and tell what is happening here. Everything is being, it gives you an implementation before the anti-gravity or the Google models, before they do anything. It keeps you in the loop. The biggest aspect of AI is like human in the loop. It will not bypass your things unless and until you explicitly say, hey, don't care about me, just go ahead. But it will always give you a implementation plan, just like a junior developer who comes to us, a senior developer, and says, hey, this is what I'm trying to do, and he comes with this, and then you approve it. You are code reviewing the PR request or all these things. So basically, this is what we are doing over here. In one shot, we are trying to do everything. The heavy lifting is done by the Google Anti-Gravity play around, and the inspector is the Gemini CLI. I use it for my test cases, and I use it for a lot many things. And then uh, the artifacts, as I told you, it first creates the implementation MD file. Whatever I've shown you over here, this is an implementation plan, right? If you see the implementation plan, it's an MD file, and then you have to approve it. Without the approving it, because it tells you in detail what we are going to do, and if you approve it, that's what it is going to do. And then mythology vibe coding, you can also simply draw in a piece of paper of what your idea is, and give it to the prompt over here in the anti-gravity. Go over here and type add media. Can you take the small image and then say, can you fastly build an index.html?
John, you try to squeeze everything into one presentation. But
Yeah.
this is such a complex tool, and this is such a complex app you've built. It's just amazing. It's definitely not enough for.
I would actually, Yulia, I will plan to come in person one day, and probably we can do it, probably, and take a simpler concept rather
Yeah,
than.
we need simpler app, simpler concept.
Yeah, if you see right now, what we have done is a Java Angular app, and I have used all these things. I've used the rules rule engine,
It's amazing. You're
Kafka.
highly professional, so just the round of applause to you.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Any questions or anything that I have, you can reach out to me. I will put all my.
Everyone is just starving for your materials.
Yeah.
People are asking, are you sharing slides? Are you sharing the
Yeah, I'm gonna share the slides. The funniest part is
GitHub? Yeah.
I have created multiple slides. This is this is one of the style pattern that I liked, and this is one of the style pattern that I like. Again, everything you're using AI. I'm using Notebook LLM to create ideas. So
this is another subject of interest. People were asking how to use Notebook LLM for creating slides.
One last thing I just wanted to say, if you don't have a portfolio website, I think it's better to do a portfolio website. And I created my portfolio website over here in a portfolio builder. I just want to show it.
Of course.
I have created it somewhere. Okay. The portfolio deployment. Okay.
The presentation is excellent. The prompt shift is just like
Yeah. So
very
I
useful.
I recommend everyone who don't have a website for their own start doing it because this is me. I have done my portfolio website just like in 20 minutes you can do this. See, I just given my details over here about me and then my experiences, what I have. I recently worked on what projects, the plugin that I've created, I've done that. And then this talk, I've put it over here, the virtual
Oh, look at that. I
and
see some familiar photos.
and then we have the build with AI. Last year, remember, Yulia, we were there.
Yep.
And I'm part of IEEE also. I do some, and I'm part of some connections there. And I have everything over here. If you want to, please contact me. Please feel free. I'll put my website soon. I'm trying to keep my website up. My website is pauljohn.com. So, but it is not yet up and running. I'm gonna put it soon enough. And please, guys, you also try to play around. There is a lot many things that we can do. It's not a simple to-do list apps or tic-tac-toe apps. You can do much more than that. And if you are geeky, please come connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you are in Hudson area, please tell me, we can meet for a coffee, tea, or something like that, and we will discuss more. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity, and I'll be scaling down. Thank you.
Fantastic. Just a round of applause, as I said. People already were applauding you, but this was really good. And we really appreciate your generosity. If you would be given 24 hours, I think you would be just showing and teaching and helping people 24/7.
Yeah, I will share the presentation and all the things. I'll share it to you, Julia, and you can send all to the people there.
Yep. I'm going to post this video on the event webpage and also the Slack channel. So just wanted to make sure everybody is on Slack. We do have Slack, how to sign up with our Slack posted on the event, on the announcement page. So please follow along, and all the resources will be available there as well. If you're confused, just Slack, that's where the group hang out, okay? Saying that, I will stop recording and I will let you